This is how I would book Alexa Bliss in AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Alexa Bliss is All Elite. So let's jump into this multiverse of Alexa Bliss being in a different wrestling company and let's get it. Rumors have been speculating that Alexa Bliss might get fired from WWE, but these were just rumors and none of it actually happened. But however, people are still speculating on Alexa Bliss's contract with WWE. Will she resign or will she not? Stay with WWE or leave WWE? People are absolutely losing their bananas. I have to say it. They're losing their bananas over this situation. People want to know, will Alexa Bliss stay or will she go? Well, let's see. She had a good run with WWE after she showed up at yours truly Elimination Chamber at Saudi Arabia, right? Everybody remembers this, right? So after that, she disappears for a little bit. She shows up at WrestleMania 38, and let's go ahead and skip a little bit of stuff, if you will. Let's just move along a little bit. We're in the year 2026, and WWE decides to go ahead and let go the merch top seller herself, Alexa Bliss. She finally got released. But people are kind of speculating if there has been was it a she said or she said that type of situation? We weren't sure. The fans of WWE were speculating this. Was this true? It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday Night Dynamite on TBS instead of TNT. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing, but that's not the whole point. Anyways, so on this amazing episode of Dynamite, it takes place in not only Columbus, Ohio. Uh-oh, Kai Conti's coming out. I wonder what she has to say. She gets on the mic talking about the last episode of AEW Dark, saying she has been beaten absolutely everybody and she's ready to make the biggest challenge yet. She's going to challenge Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, for the AEW Women's World Championship. And then here she comes out, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, as the AEW Women's Champion. And I decided that she's going to win the championship back in 2024 after losing the title to Thunder Rosa, but she wins it back in 2024. And then DMD decides to talk trash to Kai Conti, saying that she was a better champion and telling her she will never be champion. And then Kai Conti had enough and kicked her in the face with those nice Nike shoes. Very detailed, by the way. And DMD makes a comeback and puts good old Kai Conti in a lockjaw, and she taps. And then the show ends with Dr. Britt Baker having the championship high and going DMD. And a few days pass by, and people still can't stop talking about Brandy Rose, talking about why she wants Alexa Bliss to join AEW, wants her really, really bad and stuff. And then finally, Alexa Bliss kind of caught up to this and decided to talk to her on Twitter. And they didn't get into a fight or anything. She was just like, hey, how can I join AEW and stuff like that. And then she gave her all the details. And then finally, this happened. Until a tweet came out from Alexa Bliss. She said it. She said it. I quit at WWE and say hello at All Elite Wrestling, AEW. I will see you at Daly's Place tonight in Jacksonville, Florida. By the way, guys, it's a fake tweet. Don't get it twisted. This is just a part of the whole story of what I'm telling of how I book Alexa Bliss in a situation like this. So, yeah. So she tweets it out, and everyone goes nuts about it. And then she's not allowed to compete anywhere quite yet, even though you know how the WWE is. When a wrestler quits WWE or gets fired, you're not allowed to wrestle anywhere until the 30 days have been expired. So, yeah. You know how the rules go. You know how the rules go. And here we are in Jacksonville for AEW All Elite Wrestling. So it's about to be the end of this match. We got ourselves a main event with your girl, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defending her AEW Women's World Championship against good old Kai Conti, of course, because she's been challenging her. So they had a good fight at the end until DMD won the match and kept beating her up and beating her up and beating her up and beating her up. Just keep beating her up to death. And then, about to do the lockjaw, before she did it, everyone goes nuts when they hear this song. This theme song, if you will. You hear the loudest pop in AEW history. Alexa Bliss makes her debut in Jacksonville. She saves Kai Conti from old Britt Baker. She reveals a t-shirt that she was wearing while taking off the jacket. Not just an ordinary plain black shirt that she was wearing an AEW merchandise, and they were chanting Bliss, Bliss, Bliss. They were happy to see Alexa Bliss in All Elite Wrestling. The goddess is in AEW. Alexa Bliss will have her first AEW match against Ruby Soho, and she'll pick up a good win after that one. Then she'll go up against Chris Statlander, definitely win that match as well. Definitely had the most epic match of all time with Jade Cargill. Hard match, but she still beats her. And then finally, she goes up against DMD, Dr. Britt Baker. And then finally, after having a good feud or so, she finally gets the opportunity of going after her championship. And then 1, 2, 3, finally, Alexa Bliss becomes your new AEW Women's World Champion. And she's the top of the world as champion, and she rules the AEW roster of the women's division. After holding on to the championship for 300 days, she has an interview with the main man himself, good old Tony Schiavone, and he's all like, "So Alexa, congratulations for holding on to the championship for 300 days. How does it feel, champ?" And then Alexa Bliss says a few words. Happy that she's world champion. Happy that she's representing the women's division in All Elite Wrestling. And she really wants to challenge somebody in the back of the locker, whoever it is, come and get some. And then Tony Schiavone was asking, who else do you want to see show up in AEW? And right after Alexa Bliss was going to answer that one simple question, she got interrupted by this theme right here. And everyone got shocked, including Tony Schiavone himself. And Tony Schiavone asked, "Thunder Rosa, what are you doing here?" And then, of course, she said, "You know exactly why I'm here, Tony. Alexa, I'm here to challenge you for your championship." And then, of course, she threw a few jabs at WWE, and then Alexa Bliss had cut her off and say, "Don't you ever disrespect the company that she used to work for." And then Tony Schiavone had walked away, so those two can go at it. So they looked at each other face to face with both anger in their eyes. So Tony Khan and Kenny Omega confirmed this match. For the AEW Women's Championship, it will be a steel cage match between Alexa Bliss, the champion herself, versus Thunder Rosa at Full Gear of 2028. And this match is going to be an amazing match. So, it will also be taking place, of course, in New Mexico. And then you get Alexa Bliss getting cheered by the fans, including Thunder Rosa herself, because these fans have been waiting for this matchup. It's going to be a great match. A very, very great match. It's going to get bloody, but it's going to be a really, really great match. A super great match, if you will. After having a great match with Thunder Rosa at Full Gear, and she won, she decided to sign a 3-year contract with AEW. However, there have been reports that Alexa Bliss has been missing WWE, and she kind of has no idea if she is regretting signing a 3-year contract with AEW, And of course, she's having a lot of backstage talk with Tony Khan saying, please can't AEW and WWE both work together so I can both wrestle on the same company. And also, meanwhile, Bryan Danielson has been helping out Alexa Bliss with her wrestling training since she has made her debut in All Elite Wrestling. There has been reports that Bryan Danielson is really happy for Alexa Bliss for joining All Elite Wrestling. And we finally got ourselves a match in New York City with good old Serena D versus, of course, Tori Storm. Unfortunately, Tori Storm pulled up a huge upset and won, and Britt Baker was about had it, and she beated her up, and guess who decided to join her faction? That's right, Alexa Bliss, the world champion herself. So I guess let bygones be bygones, so DMD and Alexa are now friends. So she decided to watch them beat up a few other wrestlers that you all know and love, so they kept beating them up until this happened. Next episode of AEW. Alexa Bliss is not happy. That's right. Shariah won 2 matches last week on AEW. She is the number 1 contender to go after good old Alexa Bliss's AEW Women's World Championship. And then she showed up and said, hello, Alexa Bliss. Do you remember me? And Alexa Bliss knows her very, very well from other wrestling companies, of course, just the one. And Shariah challenged her at her hometown, and she won. And the fans are going wild. Shariah won the AEW Women's World Championship against Alexa Bliss in her hometown of the United Kingdom. Then Alexa Bliss got a little bit sad. And then after that, in AEW, after a few months, she decided that she's no longer going to sign with AEW. She had a good run, but it's time for her to move on. The next episode of Monday Night Raw, it took place in Columbus, Ohio, and guess who came back to WWE with open arms? It was Alexa Bliss. P.S. Case if you're wondering, it was Vince McMahon's fault that Alexa Bliss was bashing, not Triple H, because Triple H wanted Alexa Bliss to come back, and there she is now. And the rest is history. She signs a 5-year contract with WWE, and she'll be going after the Raw Women's Championship.